Alrighty. Okay, so we're here with Rainbow Six Extraction again, and I've already done, I believe, 2 videos on it. Well, more of just streaming it in general. One being a first impressions, and one being what I liked about it. So, why are we back on it? Well, because Rainbow Six Extraction is at a halt. Yes, it's about to get its first Crisis event, which is basically a time where they add a bunch of stuff in. But, what's the issue with the game? In my little review about it, which is about 3 minutes long, I explained that the game is really fun. Didn't really talk much about the negatives, but I want to specifically hone down on one part that I think is a pretty big deal. So, as we look through, I have all these, what are these called again? These studies. I got all these studies done, including the VR training one. I got the studies finished, and then if we go to operators, well, all my operators are level 10. Now, why am I pointing this out? Because I need to ask, what's the reason of coming back to this game? And I think it's very important to ask this. As, well, because I basically 100% of the game, what do we do? Well, we're gonna just play some New York City, and we'll do police station, and we'll kind of talk about it. So starting with, there's the difficulties, but we need players like a sense of progression. What's the sense of progression? Basically, like, I loved playing a certain operator because I could experience getting levels with them. Gamers today don't want to play, well, games that don't really have a sense of progression unless it's a really good game. If we want to look at a certain game like, for example, Subnautica, which is a far step from this, Subnautica, there was a sense of progression because you would look at, hey, I need this depth module, this is what I want, and this is what I need. There was a sense of progression that there was this barrier gap you're going over. And this game had it really well, but the issue is, what do we do once we've progressed through as much as we can? And I have a couple ideas. So first, let's figure out what's our objectives for today. Defeat an elite target, destroy aberrant nest, capture the elite target. Vigil's probably not a bad idea. Then again, though. Okay, we're gonna go with Fuse. I have a wood. Okay. So this game is good. Again, I want to say that this is the thing because this game hasn't been out for very long yet, and I just kind of want to emphasize that if these changes remain, I think this game would become a lot better. So let's start with, what can it do to make it so players are coming back every day to it? Because as a game company, that's what you want your player base to do. You want your player base to keep on coming back for seconds.
No way we'd let them mobilize
and
against us.
I think, first of all, adding a form of daily challenges that can get you some of those, the little premium currency R6 credits, or adding some form of the renown that Rainbow Six Siege has.
Over there, a sheep among Archies.
Oh great, I have to deal with Sours. But adding some sort of form of dailies would make it so, well, the game is better. And yes, the Ubisoft Club does have these kind of little stylized dailies, except they don't really get you anything. They get you XP for the Ubisoft Club, but they don't actually get you anything in this game very specifically. Then adding an actual weekly challenge to even get more R6 credits, or maybe a particular headgear or charm. Because if it is true that they try to make the cosmetics cross-play with the games, Rainbow Six Siege, and okay, let's not get concussed. If it's true that they want to add these like cosmetics to where they can be played on both games, then I think they're definitely going to have to go this direction or this route to make it more playable. Then the second part about making this game even better is somehow making it so operators have more ways to grow. Maybe giving them some form of a prestige system. Making it so players are always, like, wanting to progress with those operators. And prestiging them, maybe giving them a unique gear or something that they can wear, or the troubles of having to go through those 10 levels again. Or make it so every update, every operator gains an additional 5 levels. So like, for example, Fuse would go up to 15 instead of your basic 10. I think this would be a healthy change. Yes, it would make it, oh man, I have to continue playing these operators. But again, players are living in a time where we are very progression-based people. We want to constantly have content to do. And where... Oh. Yep, roar. Roar. Do the roar. Do the roar.
Yep, you're attracting their leader, all right.
Wow.
Reload.
But we want some sort of sense of progression. Oh wow. Oh, it's a run.
Reloading. Cluster charge active.
Very
I wonder what that elite could have
Worked out a lot
accomplished
better
with
than I
his
thought.
buddies. Yeah, me neither.
So, if they keep adding operator levels or a form of prestiging an operator, I think the game would definitely get even more of an active player base. We're adding a form of weeklies. So then, what could be another thing that could also be added? Well, maybe simply by doing more maps. Obviously, there's a need to do more maps. And yes, these maps are great. I can't think of a particularly bad map. I think all the maps are actually very fun to play. However, ooh, that startled me. I was like, wait a second, that's an enemy. So it's true that they want to make the cosmetics again, as I said earlier. Maybe making it so they have crossover events, where maybe both communities can play with each other. This sounds terrible.
Nest mapping data indicates the presence of aberrant nests here. Find them.
Nope. I don't want to deal with rooters right now. That aim. Alrighty. So what's the next big deal to maybe even help this game furthermore? I think expanding it to having a horde style mode, where you must just survive for as long as you can. Every PvE game is having some form of it. Left 4 Dead kind of popularized it, but having a mode where you just hold out as long as you can with the resources you got. This game can do a really good job at it. Then adding some form of a doomsday event. What I mean by a doomsday stylized event is maybe adding something where subzones or there's like an actual breaking out, and then adding a genuine campaign of some sort. This would take a lot to add. I'm not kidding.
Destroy those nests.
Adding a whole entire
Gather
like,
sample from the
campaign mode
mutagen's point
would
of origin.
be a lot to be asked. A lot. I think it could really heavily benefit the game.
Cluster charge
Nice
live.
little gift for that.
Detonating cluster charge.
Keep destroying aberrant nests, and the neoplasm will be vulnerable.
Oh, they're out there. They're down on them. Come on.
Reloading.
Oh, that's why I was taking 10 bullets.
Time for a sample.
So adding a form of a horde mode would be really good to the community, I think. That would probably, and in all honesty, probably bring back a lot of players. And Rainbow Six Extraction is pretty hard to compare to other games
learn more
because,
of the
well,
changes to
it's
their nest
one of the only
ecosystem.
games right now that's like it. Well, not one of the only games, but with its style of the subzones, it definitely is its own style. Alrighty. I don't have any form of notes on me at the moment. for this. It was just kind of more of a free thought.
Stick to what works and improvise where
I think
you
it's
must.
good.
Keep moving forward.
Then, obviously, adding more enemies would be a very healthy idea for this game. I like that whenever you see a certain enemy, it can make a whole situation FUBAR. It would change variables. Like rooters,
Track down
if
a
you see one
high-value
out of the
enemy.
blue, it changes up
R&D
the whole
needs it alive,
operation.
and I'll tell you when you find it.
So changing it to make it more oriented around that. Oh wow, that's an early enemy. I don't like that. To make it so it really does kind of make a difference would be good. Like, yeah, see that? That's a lurker. That enemy makes not a huge difference by itself, but in the enemies it can make invisible. It can it can make the smashers invisible, which just is the most terrifying thing. Is that our capture system? No, it isn't. Look towards you. Thank you. Then adding the more objective types. Objective types would be a really fun thing to keep on adding. Maybe like one where you have to defend a group of soldiers. Like maybe the same soldiers from, oh my god, my aim. Please don't run away from me. But adding a game over where you have to like defend actual soldiers would be pretty good. And adding it maybe with more AI allies. It'd be cool. I would actually like to see an enemy that is kind of like an electronic enemy
If you
that
have a
doesn't
recon
necessarily
device,
EMP.
make use of it
Yeah,
to
that
locate
actually
the
would be kinda
objective.
cool. What would he do? But adding an enemy that like would take over electronics. So what if like the React started using certain like mechs and stuff? That is the elite. Okay.
We need it alive. Lure it
Hello.
to the extraction points with traffic.
Run! But adding some form of... Oh, wow, I should keep the entire area. But adding some form of...
Capture system on.
There we go. That went working.
It's still alive. You've made some React scientists really happy.
Reloading.
I think that's all I'm going to say on it for now. Maybe it wasn't very good note-wise, but I think that's all I'm going to say for it now, because, like,
Thanks to your success,
this game is
we might
great
get
and it has a
additional
lot of
private
potential.
funding.
But is it going to go through the same idea that Evolve went through, where it didn't receive enough updates? And unfortunately, it kind of died? Well, not kind of. I mean, it literally died. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts about it in the comments. Like, what do you think the game could use to help itself more? And here's another question. What operator do you think you would like to see in it? In this game? And what do you think their ability would change